is paying attention because we are talking about an important topic, and this is digital citizenship and media literacy. Can you hear me, students? I think there's a problem with my connection, but I am wishing that there would be no issue because we are going to explore the laws that protect the netizens. Can I start now? Can we start? Thank you again, Dr. Huwit, for your introduction. This is very controversial because we use social media platforms for communication and other purposes. And you might be wondering why I have. Is it all right if I share my presentation, students? Because somebody is presenting. Okay. Uh, can I share now my presentation? Can you see it now? All right. You might be wondering why I have this title for my webinar. Students, fellow professors, I am not promoting negativity. I would just like to emphasize accountability because all of us are using social media. And sometimes we just share without thinking, without evaluating the information. And we think that we have the right to express anything. That may be true. We have the right to express anything we want. That is our basic right. Lahat tayo may karapatan. But we should not forget that we may have the right to express anything we want, but I would like to start with this statement. But we don't have the right to hurt other people. So may karapatan tayo na magsabi kung ano yung gusto natin, but let us not forget that every right is coupled with obligation. I am going to repeat, every right is coupled with obligation. Ang nakakalimutan natin, kung ano yung dapat nating gawin. Ang alam lang natin kung ano yung karapatan natin. But freedom is not absolute. Freedom is not absolute. Hindi porket may kalayaan tayo, hindi porket may karapatan tayo, pwede na nating gawin lahat. I hope that's clear to everyone. At this early, I would like to advise our audience that before we post, before we comment, before we share, before we screenshot or go viral, we have to show some, what's that? Respect. We have to show some respect. Why did I start with it? I use the word respect to inform you of our goals and objectives. So these are our webinar objectives. R for recognize, E for evaluate, S for safeguard, P for practice, E for examine, C for choose, and C for trace the law. How are we going to recognize the information that we share or we see on FB, spot fake news, misinformation, and online harm? So at the end of the seminar, we expect that our students and even the professors or those who have joined us this morning to evaluate the information or to assess the information that they see on FB. They will not just take it as gospel truth. Hindi lahat ng nakikita natin yun na ang totoo. Okay, letter E for evaluate. Before you share, let us not contribute to the proliferation of fake news. We already have a lot of issues in the Philippines. If we cannot solve the problem, let us not add insult to injury. Huwag na nating dagdagan. Kung hindi natin kayang maging solusyon, wag na sana tayong maging problema. So let us not contribute to the proliferation of fake news. Next, protect your privacy and digital identity. Do not share anything. You are only making yourself vulnerable to online vultures. You don't want to be attacked. You don't want to be condemned. You don't want to be criticized. But your life is an open book. You don't owe anyone any information about yourself. So you only share information that can be appreciated, that will not put you in a difficult situation. You have to protect yourself. That is your responsibility. Next, practice. Use social media responsibly. Technology is good. It's a beneficial. But we want our students to use technology responsibly. And then, for examine, analyze the impact of your digital footprint. Whatever you share on Facebook, even if it's just a reaction, it will never be forgotten. You know what happened to Joshua Garcia? Diba? He was attacked. Nag-like lang siya dun sa post, pero he was attacked by the netizens. Well, if you are prepared to face the consequences of your actions and decisions, no problem. So if you are prepared to face all the consequences of your decisions and your actions, go tayo dyan. Pero syempre, we also have to protect our mental health. Next, make responsible decisions in online situations. You choose kindness. Do not attack. Please observe the golden rule. And what does the golden rule say? Do unto others what you want others do unto you. So if you don't want to be attacked, do not attack other people. Let us put ourselves in the shoes of our fellow netizens. Next, there are laws that protect the netizens. Apply Philippine laws to protect yourself and others online. We start with the description of some terms here because throughout the webinar, you would be hearing these things from me. And I don't want you to get confused when I present the information here. Let us describe digital citizenship. All of us are digital citizens. In fact, some of us live on Facebook. So what is digital citizenship? You're a netizen. Every time you scroll, post, or comment, you're a citizen of the internet. You have to own it responsibly. Be responsible users of technology. What did I say earlier? We may have the right to express anything we want, but we don't have the right to offend other people. And to protect yourself, you have to know your rights. Sabi nga nila, ignorance of the law excuses no one. Information is now available anytime, anywhere. You can't say, hindi ko kasi alam eh. So in my introduction, when I showed you the first slide, you saw the title. Ano yung title ko? Post now, iyak later. I am not emphasizing negativity in my statement. What I would like the students to realize is we all have to be responsible. We all have to be responsible users of technology. And if you don't know your rights or you don't know the rights that protect the netizens, you may just share anything you want or you allow other people to attack you. You have the right to privacy, respect, and safety online. No cap. What is a cap? That is a lie, that is an exaggeration, that is an attack. The law has your back. So there are many laws that protect the netizens and we have to be careful. We have to make the net better. Facebook and other social media platforms are beneficial to everyone. We connect, but we defeat the purpose of using social media platforms. We use social media platforms to attack other people, to spread the fake news, to waste other people's time. Yung we only share information that makes us happy, but that is not beneficial to other people. Be kind. Think before you click. You often hear this, but I'm not sure if we are doing this. And help create a safe and positive space for everyone online. What is media literacy? You have to read between the posts. You have to understand what you see on social media. We are not our Facebook profile. We do not reveal everything. Our Facebook profile, the information that we share on social media platforms may not reveal who we are. So not everything you see online is real. What is media literacy? Media literacy is questioning what you scroll through, spotting bias. All of us have biases and prejudices, but we have to be objective in evaluating the information that we see online. We have to be objective in evaluating the information that we see online. We have to think critically. Before you like, ay ma'am kasama po ba yan? Yes, because that is your digital footprint. I will remind you what happened to Joshua Garcia. I am not questioning Joshua Garcia's political conviction. Karapatan niya yon. But what happened to Joshua Garcia? Di ba? Inatake siya because we leave digital footprints. So if you are not prepared for those things, then do not share any information or do not express reactions that can only put you in a difficult situation. But as I say, because I don't want the listeners to think that I am stopping you from expressing your opinion, from being who you are on social media, that's fine. You just have to prepare yourself for the consequences of your actions. So think critically before you like, share, or delete. Level up your digital smarts because your feed shapes your reality. That is the algorithm. Okay, when we see a negative news or negative pieces of information, it's because we accommodated those kinds of information. You can say, I don't believe in fake news, because if you expose yourselves to those things, you might get used to them and they eventually become the truth. So you have to be careful when you visit uh, news pages, establish the credibility of the pages and the owners of the account that you visit. So you think before you click. Curate, balance, and be real. Your feed is your mental space. It's all right to unfollow what drains you, and we do that. Am I correct, students? We're doing that, and that's fine. If you think that the post of your friend, because not all of our friends on Facebook are our friends in real life, and not all of our friends in real life are our friends on Facebook. Some of my friends in real life are not my friends on Facebook because what did I say? We are not our Facebook profile. You set screen time limits. Spend time on books and on other productive things. Post or share what's real, not just what looks good. Facebook has now become the source of affirmation and validation. Some students share with me when we discuss media literacy in building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum. Kapag may 5 likes lang daw yan, i-delete niya na yan. So you see, yung we have been addicted to people's approval. And we think that when they click the react button, will survive. So Facebook has become our life. It seems that it's impossible for us to survive or it's impossible for us to live without Facebook. So you can unfollow what drains you. You limit the time that you spend on Facebook. There are more important things that you can do because you don't owe the internet everything. You have your life. Seize the day. Live productively. When you share information, it has a ripple effect. So think before you post, because a single share can reach thousands. This is the increased reach. Your online actions, and what are this? Your likes, comments, mga reposts, they create a real world ripples. I wondered one time, I asked myself, I am not interested in the post of this content creator. Why am I seeing it now? Now I realize that I reacted, and that's the reason why their posts appear in my newsfeed. So your reactions, your uh, your comments, and even the information that you share will reach thousands of people in the world. So what you put out there matters more than you think. Some people are not thinking anymore. They are not using their critical thinking skills when they read messages or they read posts on social media platforms. The most important thing that we have to do, or the most important action that we have to perform when we use social networking sites such as Twitter, Facebook, we spot fake news. Let us not contribute to the proliferation of fake news. So what is fake news? Fake news is false or misleading info dressed up to look real. Fake news can be classified into three. We have malinformation, fake news. All right, can we proceed now? So fake news can be classified into three. There are three types of information disorders. So these are malinformation, misinformation, and disinformation. Fake news is about inaccurate information. Then what about the other information disorder? Because I mentioned three types of information disorders. And what are these? These are malinformation, misinformation, and disinformation. Misinformation and disinformation disorders are present inaccurate or fake news, inaccurate information. While malinformation, that may be true, but if it will hurt both parties, do not share it. That may not be a fake news, but we should not share it because it can only hurt the parties involved. Fake news spreads fast because it's designed to trigger negative emotions, fear, anger, excitement. One share can reach thousands and millions of people in the world. So you have to be responsible. How are we going to determine if we are fake news? Yung clickbait, madalas yan. I have examples to present later. There is a statement that will motivate you to check the link, and you will be redirected or directed to online shopping applications. So clickbait, headline screams at you, and if you did not see any author, the author was not identified or the source was not identified, then it's fake news. So these are some pieces of information that I can share with you to determine whether the information is inaccurate or not. So lalo na yung mga clickbait na yan. Pupunta ka lang pala sa Lazada or Shopee. Next, there is no source. we have three sources of information. What are those sources of information? Primary sources of information, secondary sources of information, and online sources. So primary sources of information, people, interviews, emails, rituals, traditions, historical journals, laws, ordinances. Those are primary sources of information that you can consult if you would like to determine whether that you see online is whether the information that you see online is inaccurate or not. There are also other sources of information, the secondary sources of information. What are the examples? Magazines, periodicals. We also have books, then online sources. Those are materials or resources that we see online. So there are sources of information that we can use to verify the information. Next, story sounds too wild to be real. If it is too good to be true, then it is not true. It's unbelievable. Next, a website URL looks suspicious or misspelled. There are grammar lapses. The words have been misspelled. Then the way the sentence has been constructed, it's awkward. Then only one outlet is reporting it. I often tell my education students, if it is your first time to teach the subject, you consult 10 sources of information. That is not an exaggeration. I advise my education students to consult 10 sources of information to determine the validity of the information because we cannot come to class unprepared. And there are students who are exposed to various materials. If you only consult a source, you cannot provide the best for your students, and the students deserve the best. We also do the same thing when we see an information shared, even by a friend or by a content creator that we follow. If there is only one outlet that reveals or presents the news, then it is fake news. Next, photos look edited or out of place. Especially with the advent of AI tools, everything can be edited. So if it checks these boxes, the information that you encountered online is fake. Please do not share it. This is an example of fake news. I encountered this in 2025. I thought it will happen. And what happened? Many Filipinos went to grocery stores to buy their basic needs because they thought that there would be a lockdown again. So see, what happened? Yung we caused panic. Yung we also contributed to the problem because this is not verified. This only frightened the most of the Filipinos. The others suffered from anxiety attack. But definitely, this is fake news because it was not verified by the Department of Health. Okay, next. Ayan yung clickbait. Uh, we see that statement, nakakagulat, 2.7% lamang ng mga Pilipino ang nakakaalam nito. It's true that curiosity kills the cat. Gusto natin, sige, ano kaya to? Okay. If that's what you have seen and the source has not been provided, though here it was revealed that it was released by Philippine Star. What can you do? Okay, you check what I have presented earlier. There are ways to spot fake news. So if there is only one outlet that released the information, then it is not true. If it's too good to be true, it is not true. If you cannot verify it using primary sources, secondary sources, and other sources of information, and online sources of information, then uh, there's no way that this presents a factual information. So what can you do? If you have been presented only with an image, you can only see the image. So aside from the things that I have presented a while ago, these are also other moves to verify what's real. Reverse image search. I know that you can do that. You drag a photo to Google Images or TinEye to check if it's fake or recycled. Next, you check multiple sources. I've been telling you about this since we have started our session. We have our primary sources, secondary sources, and online sources. You check at least five sources and determine whether the information is factual or not. We also have the fact-checking sites, yung Verifiles, Rappler, yung AFP Fact Check. So those are sources that you can use to determine whether the information is factual or not. It's because real news survives the test. We all have to say no to fake news. Stop the spread. Before you share, verify. We have our online sources. You can use the sites that I mentioned, Verifiles, CNN, then we have online sources, report suspicious content. For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Hindi, hayaan ko na lang yan, marami na akong problema. Hindi ko na yan papansinin. Kasi if you don't report suspicious content, you'll never know. One of these days, you will be the victim. And educate your squad. Call out misinformation, but you have to do it respectfully because the Filipinos are onion-skinned. We are overly sensitive. Ayaw nating nasasabihan tayo eh, di ba? Tama, students? Yung we are not open to criticism, but you can help. We cannot solve all the problems in the Philippines, but at least we can contribute to the solution of the problem. We are not going to create another problem. Ang dami na nating problema, wag na nating dagdagan. So we call out misinformation. I would just like to add that disinformation, kasi pag misinformation, we don't have any idea that it is fake news. Then this information, we know that it is fake news or inaccurate, but we still share it. The purpose is to deceive people. Share media literacy tips with your family and friends. You can be the kuya or ate who keeps the group chat real. We are not sure of what will happen to us in the future. Baka one of these days, tayo na yung maging victim ng fake news. Di ba nahahack yung mga account natin? So we have to do something to stop the spread. We don't have the right to complain if we are not doing anything to solve the problem. Again, we don't have the right to complain if we are not doing anything to solve the problem. According to my favorite columnist, she passed on many years ago, and she was a writer of Philippine Daily Inquirer. According to Nina Cacho Olivares, the Filipinos are selfish creatures. We're not going to move unless we have been the victims of oppression. According to Olivares, the Filipinos are selfish creatures. We are not going to move. We are not going to act unless we have been the victims of oppression. How am I going to apply that to our discussion this morning? This has something to do with educating your squad. Panay tayo reklamo, ang dami nating sinasabi. But let us examine ourselves. Are we doing something to solve the problem? Nagagalit kayo that your account was hacked, you even curse the person responsible for that. Question, in the past, did you do something to solve the problem? Nangawa tayo kapag nandyan na, pero sa totoo lang, before, wala naman tayong ginawa. Always remember, prevention is always better than cure. I know that we have nursing students here. You can get my point. Not all of the nursing students. Bago pa lumala ang problema, gamutin na natin. Prevention is better than cure. Before you become the victim of online vultures, verify before you share, report suspicious content, and educate your squad. You have to be the change. Don't wait for change because we can be the change. Diba? Ay gusto ko to. I am going to vote for this person because there would be changes. We all want change in the government, but we should be the change. We have to transform. I am not a fan of Dick Gordon, but I like his statement. According to the former senator, what this country needs is not a change of men, but a change in men. Again, according to Nick Gordon, what this country needs is not a change of men, but a change in men. We have brilliant leaders. I think we have brilliant leaders. We elected the best people in the government, but transformation must come from within. Kung ang tao mismo ang bumoboto, wala mismong pagbabago sa sarili nila, wala ring mangyayari. So before we clamor for change, we have to be the change. We have the power to stop fake news. What can we do? Start the conversations that matter. You call out fake news. We should not tolerate it. Because if we tolerate it, we deserve our chaotic situation. Alamin niyo yung sinasabi ng iba na we deserve what we tolerate. Totoo naman, di ba? Okay, we are in a chaotic situation because we tolerate unscrupulous actions in our society. And that includes the sharing of fake news. Mali talaga yan. Kahit sino pa ang sinusuportahan mo, kapag hindi tama, if it is not verified, then we should not share it because we are also responsible to other people. Responsibilidad natin yan. We have to educate them. So share only what's verified, check the information. We have available sources. The information is available anytime, anywhere. There are a lot of things that you can do to determine whether the information is fake or not. Your circle trusts you. Use that power for good. Gamitin niyo siya ng tama. And you are with the wrong people if they do not bring out the best in you. And one of the ways to bring out the best in you is to reveal the truth. To bring out the best in other people is to share with them the truth. Let us educate them. Pag malasakitan natin sila. Next, this is also one of the reasons why this webinar has to be held. Cyberbullying is rampant, but it is not cool. Lalo na, pagtutulungan pa yan eh. That is online harassment. And I don't want you to be silent about it. Do not tolerate it. Nobody deserves to be bullied. How do you bully someone? How does bullying occur? When you express mean comments, you spread rumors, or exclude someone. For example, you have your GC for academic purposes, and there is someone that you don't like in the group. What you did, you created another group. Di ba ang sakit? May grupo kayo, pero nagulat ka, bakit may alam sila na hindi mo alam, yung pala gumawa sila ng ibang grupo. Pero yon, syempre, we respect the preferences of your friends because there are different types of friends where we have peripheral friends and intimate friends. The peripheral friends, they only exist when the need arises. Masakit yan. Pero ganun talaga na your peripheral friends only exist when the need arises. How about yung intimate friends? Intimate friends stay despite or in spite of who you are. You may be the worst person in the world, but they will choose to stay. Congratulations if you have intimate friends. Pero nangyayari talaga yan na magkakasama kayo sa grupo, tapos nagulat ka, meron pala silang sariling GC. Well, in that case, I cannot say that that is a form of bullying because I really don't know what happened. But if it is a GC for the class and you intentionally remove someone because you don't want this person to be part of the activity, you hate this person, that is bullying. Yung meron kayong nire-remove sa GC, pero yung GC is for academic purposes, and your purpose is to spread rumors or gossip about this person. Pag nalaman nung tao yan, ano yan, kaso na yan. Yung when you exclude someone from your GC and that group chat has been created for professional or academic purposes. So if it causes harm, it's a bullying. And silence, that's not the vibe. Kailangan lumaban eh. Dapat kahit papano nasasampulan. Because it is not always advisable to just ignore what is happening. So what are the many phases of cyberbullying? For the information of our NSTP students, yung mga hate comments, yung even if it is a private message, but I have something to share about sharing screenshots with your friends on Facebook. Mag-iingat din tayo dyan. Yung doxing, yung sharing someone's private info, the address, number, without the permission or consent of the other person. Pati yung mga signatures. I saw students at the end of the semester, kasi some of them received certificates from their college deans. So, syempre, proud. Okay lang yun because you want to share your happiness with your friends on Facebook, and that will also remind you that you did something right. Okay lang yan, but please don't make the signatures uh, invisible or do not include yung signatures in the post. You can hide them, you can delete them. I don't know how you're going to do that. Uh, but cases can be filed against you if you show the signatures of the signatories online, lalo sa mga nagpo-post ng mga certificates. Next, yung exclusion, yung purposely leaving someone out of group chats or online spaces if those group chats have been created for professional or academic purposes. Next, yung impersonation. You create accounts. Then you pretend to be someone else to embarrass or harm them or to get something from them. When Rene, the former, the late player of Ateneo, passed on, di ba ang dami gumawa ng mga account niya? Pinapa-take down na yun ng Facebook kasi that is impersonation. Okay, spreading rumors, posting lies or gossip to ruin someone's reputation online. Let us observe the law of reciprocity. If you don't want people to gossip about you, then do not spread lies about them. So this is an example of doxing. Can you see it now? Can you see the example? So earlier, I have presented the many phases of bullying with the existence of online lending applications. Ayan, yung pag nangungutang ka sa mga online lending app, we receive these messages. Pero you notice, I didn't show the number of the person who sent the message. I got this from Google. I grabbed this from Google. Nakikita ba siya? Okay. All right. Um, I grabbed this from Google. Sa Google, hindi naka-hide yung kanyang number. But I cannot reveal the identity or the contact number of the person, makakasuhan ako eh. So sa online app, yung if you fail to take care of your financial obligation, you receive these messages, but that is illegal. And that is an example of hate comment. Okay, next. But earlier, meron akong sinabi dun sa screenshots. Okay. Later, I will also share with you information about sharing screenshots. So how can you stop cyberbullying now? You can block toxic accounts. If they drain your energy, you suffer from emotional and mental exhaustion because of their messages, block them. You document everything, screenshot with date and time, but please be careful because if you share the screen caps or the screenshots online, bawal din yan. Speak up, tell a trusted adult, teacher, or report online. That's the best thing to do. You report the account. You support the victims. Choose kindness because your kindness can be someone's lifeline. Remember that you are not alone. So cyberbullying is never okay, and we should not tolerate that. This is a question that I would like to ask everyone is sharing screenshots of private chats or leaking private credentials, account combos, a violation of digital privacy laws or standard platform terms of service. What do you think is the answer? Totoo naman na yung pinag-uusapan ka, di ba sabi ko, bawal din yun. Then, yung binubuli ka, okay, yung somebody sent you yung offensive messages. Somebody sent you offensive messages. What are you going to do? To retaliate, yung, are you going to post the screencaps or screenshots online? What is the answer to that? No. Sharing screenshots of private conversations or private combinations. And ma'am, inaatake po ako eh, kaya gumanti po ako. No. You can report, you can file cases. Don't take matters into your hands, into your own hands. Huwag mong ilagay ang batas sa kamay mo. Meron tayong proseso dyan. You can report, you can file complaints, because sharing screenshots of private conversations or private combinations without the consent of all parties is illegal and it is not allowed. And these are our legal bases. Okay, first, yung Data Privacy Act of 2012, RA 10173. If the screenshot reveals personal or sensitive details, yung or photos, sharing it without consent, you don't have the permission of the person concerned, constitutes unauthorized processing. These carries penalties of 1 to 7 years of imprisonment and heavy fines. Gusto mo pa bang makulong? So, please, huwag kayong mag-share ng screenshot sa Facebook or other social media platforms. We understand that you got hurt, but that doesn't justify your action. Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, RA 10175, yung spreading private messages online to shame, humiliate or ruin someone's reputation is classified as cyber libel. Truth is not an automatic excuse because what the netizens say, totoo naman eh. Kahit na totoo yan, still it's illegal. If your intent is malicious, then it is punishable. Next, sa Civil Code of the Philippines, so ang dami, di ba? Meron pa mamaya. So under the law, violating an individual's right to privacy gives them the right to sue you for moral and compensatory damages due to social humiliation and mental anguish. Okay, next. Don't just scroll past. I want you to become an upstander, not a bystander. If you see that someone is being bullied online, even if you are not affected, you are not directly affected, you can report. You can file complaints. Let us protect the victims. Let us support the victims. Because again, your kindness can be someone's lifeline. Yung will never know. Somebody told me na whatever you do, good or bad, uh, there is a retribution. Lahat naman yan babalik naman sa iyo eh. Of course, we do not do good things to other people because we want something in return. What I believe, heavenly reward awaits us. And we can be in the same situation. Baka isang araw tayo naman yung ganyan, di ba? And we would be very glad if people would fight on our behalf. Next, this is another thing that you have to understand. Your digital footprint. Every click, every post, every like, it stays forever. Sabi nila, wala daw forever. Pero meron. Ano yun? Yung inyong digital footprint. It is your tattoo on the internet. It's permanent. It can never be forgotten. Ma'am, dinilit ko naman agad eh. Alam nyo naman, ang mga Pinoy, they live on Facebook. They live on social media platforms. Ang daling mag-screenshot niyan. So may ebidensya na agad. And that can be used against you. So every selfie, comment, share, and search you make online builds a trail that anyone can follow. There are employers who ask their prospective applicants to share with them their Facebook links. May mga employers na ngayon, lalo sa mga schools, sa mga edu students, tinitingnan ng mga schools kung ano yung mga post mo. So there were applicants who were not hired by the company because of their digital footprints. Ang laman ng mga account, puro fake news. Expect nyo yan. Ma'am, di ba, it's invasion of privacy? No. The company wants to determine if you deserve a slot in their organization. Kasi yung values, they prioritize applicants who possess positive traits. Yung skills kasi, ano naman yan, ma-develop naman yan eventually. Pero ang mahirap ma-develop talaga yung attitude. Kaya they can check your profile. Ang laman ng profile mo, puro fake news. Patay tayo dyan. Okay, next. You have to clean up your trail. And don't tell yourself, okay ma'am, after my graduation, I am going to create another account. The company will not consider that. Will not consider that. So 2 years before you graduate, you create an account. It should be a professional account because I don't want you to think that I am not giving you the freedom. That's your basic right there to express yourself. That can also be your outlet. That can also be your way in releasing yourself from the bandage of stress or anxiety. Paano kapag nasa Facebook ka, dun ka lang parang, pag sinishare mo yung mga kwento ng buhay mo, dun ka lang nagiging masaya. O syempre, it's your decision. So if I were you, 2 years before you graduate, you create a professional account. Mag-share pa rin kayo doon, but in your professional account, you only post verified information. Okay, you show the positive side of your personality because when you apply for a job, there are employers who would ask you to share with them your Facebook link, the link to your Facebook or your uh, other social media accounts. Pagkagagawa lang yan, questionable sa kanila yan. Pero pag 2 years, okay na yon. So, uh, create a professional account. How will you manage your digital footprint? So everything you post, remember, like or share online stays forever. You Google yourself. What can you find? It's all right to lock your privacy settings. Think twice before posting and own your digital identity. Your future employer will search you. Build your online reputation. Do not waste other people's time. Post with purpose. Share content that shows your skills, values, passions, because your future employers are literally watching and they will check your messages. Next, you can Google yourself. When you Google yourself, what can you see? You can name across platforms, but do not share a lot of information. You have to protect your identity online. You have to know your rights to protect yourself. You are protected. You should know this. There are laws that shield you from cyberbullying, fake news, privacy violations, and online harassment. Let us stop the spread of fake news. So what happens to offenders if you file cases against them? So cyberbullying, what's the punishment? 12 years in prison plus fines. How about posting photos without consent? We often do that when somebody celebrates a special occasion. Kung ano yung natutulog, yun yung pinopost natin, itatag pa natin. O, bawal yun, ha? Yung lalo na kung walang consent no concerned party. So don't spread the fake news. And you can report to NBI Cybercrime Division or PNP-ACG. You can ask help from this agency. Then there is another thing that I would like to share. Okay, 'di ba? Yung because we had yung a disagreement or we uh, fought yung with others or we had a fight with someone, gagawin natin, post natin sa social media. Question, can a social media post be legally classified as cyberbullying if the victim is identifiable only through context clues? Hindi mo pinangalanan, pero pinaringgan mo sa FB. Ano ba yon? Acceptable ba yon? Punishable ba yon? What is the answer? Yes. Mag-iingat tayo. Lalo na pag may context yan eh. Nakikita pa natin sa comments, may letter C ba yan? Ayan ba yung ano, nakatira sa ganito? O, sige, post pa kayo ha. Yung if the clues are provided and this person has reasons to believe that he or she is the one being alluded to in the post, that person can file cases against you. A social media post can be legally classified as cyberbullying or online harassment even if you did not reveal the identity of the person. If the victim is not explicitly named but clues are provided, and this person has witnesses to prove that he or she is the one being alluded to in the post, yari tayo dyan. So I want to present to you yung real talk cases about the spread of fake news. Yung during Typhoon Odette, yung fake evacuation routes and false rescue posts, flooded Facebook. Ang dami nag-share ng fake news. Kaya thousands shared without checking, kaya lives were put at risk. We may not realize it, but we can kill or we can hurt other people by sharing unverified information. Next, Pinoys are now clapping back at online hate. I did my research. Nanalo pala si Catriona Gray and Nadine Lustre because there were people who shared their edited photos. Nag-share ng edited photos nila online without permission. So nakakulong na. Kahit nag-apologize sila, kasi yung apologies can be accepted, pero they have to suffer the consequences of their actions and decisions. Next, in 2022, a Filipino college student shared a joke post about mocking a classmate's appearance. Yung isa, di ba, minak niya yung congressman. O ngayon, kinakasuhan siya, kaya nag-apologize na siya. So it went viral. You don't make fun of other people's physical attributes because that constitutes cyber bullying. So the poster face, school expulsion, and criminal charges. Kaya mga best, think before you post. What lesson can be learned from here? The internet never forgets. And the law always catches up. Yung kay Catriona Gray, matagal na yon. Pero noong 2024, doon lang na ikulong. So hindi natin masasabi na contact matagal na, okay na yon. So level up your digital game. You have to be smart. Verify the information first before you post. And be kind and responsible. Do not share negativity online. Let us not support cyber bullying and fake news. Let us not share information that does not manifest accuracy or correctness. Then you have to know your rights so that you would know what to do. We can be the change. We have the power. Let us make the internet a better place because technology is good. Before you click, think. Before you believe, check. Before you share, verify. Before you comment, you have to be kind. Remember, hindi lahat ng trending true. Hindi lahat ng viral valid. At hindi lahat ng loud right. So that ends my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga mga netizens. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Colin Suwal, for sharing your knowledge, for giving us a deeper understanding of how we can become more responsible users of the digital world. Today's discussion gave us better reminder that being online is not simply about having access to information or being able to express ourselves. It also means knowing how to use our freedom responsibly. We were also reminded that our words and actions online can affect other people, and just as importantly, the things we post online can become part of our digital footprint. Kaya naman, mahalagang mag-isip muna bago mag-post, comment, or mag-share. Once again, Ma'am Colleen, thank you for enlightening us and giving us a meaningful discussion. Everyone, let us show our appreciation to Ms. Ma'am Colleen by giving our speaker a big virtual round of applause. Maraming salamat po again, Ma'am Colleen.
Maraming salamat din sa inyo sa pagkakataon. It's my pleasure to share this information. Thank you.
Now that we have explored how to become more responsible and informed in the digital world, let us shift our attention to a skill that can help us respond when someone needs immediate assistance. Our next topic is basic first aid.
To guide us through this important topic, please welcome our another distinguished research speaker, Professor